Hi everybody, this is the Planet Earth here, and I wanted to talk to you about antidepressants and suicidal ideation. The reason I'm going to talk about this is I've been thinking about it for a while. I've been thinking about how these medications affect people, past events, police reports, etc., and outbursts of rage and uncontrollable suicidal ideation based on these medications. And you have to remember when somebody is really honestly seriously depressed, sometimes these antidepressant medications do have side effects, and when you take these medications they make you more suicidal. They make it urge. It's like, because when I was taking certain antidepressants, I was even more than normal. Like, it was like an urge, like a, but I fought it as hard as I could because I knew it was wrong. But I thought my brain can't say I'm that bad, you know, like I'm that bad. This was years ago. I don't have these problems anymore, luckily. But I'm gonna talk to you about it, and I want to show you some proof, but I can only explain to you in words that these medications actually make it worse for some people. I'm going to name a list off of WebMD. And these are the medications that are antidepressants slash antipsychotics, which are kind of like antidepressants. Abilify, Atipin, Anafranil, Aplezin, all this chemical bullshit. Ascendin, Aventi, HACI, Brintellix, Celexa, Sembota, Desreal, I don't know how to say that. Effexor, that's a bad medication. Elavil, might as well just put it with evil. In-depth, Fedzima, Cassia Lexapro. I'll give you the popular ones. Paxil, Prozac, Prestique. Prestique made me really manic. Like, it made me do things I would never normally do, and I'll never take antidepressants again unless they're forced upon me. I will never take them. Prestique made me extremely manic. Like, I could do 10,000 things at once, like, more than normal, and it was a bad medication. That was a bad medication. Seroquel. Um, Now, Trofano, I remember that medication name, and Zyprexa. That's an antidepressant. Actually, I'm an antipsychotic actually. Zoloft, Wellbutrin. These medications may work for a very small amount of people, but the majority, these medications actually make your symptoms worse. These make uh, suicidal ideation 10,000 times worse. The reason I say this is because when I was taking antidepressant medications and I was in a psychiatric unit, other people started taking new antidepressants and they became suicidal. A couple rooms down, a few years ago, this person started trying hanging himself inside the psychiatric unit with his bed sheets. After he wasn't like that until he started taking the medicine. So I explained to him after they locked him up in the seclusion room. I went and knocked on the door and I told him, "Are you taking that medication? Are you still taking that medication?" He said, "What medication?" Your new medication that you've been taking for the last 5 days. He said, "Yeah, why?" "Well, I told you that these medications can cause you to have suicidal ideation." "Yeah, I want to kill myself, so what?" "So what?" So I explained to him through the door. It was, just I opened the door. It wasn't unlocked. And I told him, "Dude, listen to me very carefully. You'll have these thoughts. They'll go away when you stop taking the antidote." I was in there for 3 weeks, by the way. I was in there for anxiety. I wasn't in there for depression. I was so extremely agitated all the time, like anxious. My heart was racing. I was sweating all the time, and the antidepressants were making it worse. And so I told him, "Dude, stop taking the antidepressants, and you'll stop feeling suicidal." So I said, "Fine, I'll just reject them. I'll just tell them to fuck off." San Antonio, okay, it's not like high class society. And so he told him to fuck off. He's not taking the medicine anymore. A couple days later, he started to feel better. He said, I do feel much better now. A few days later after that, he was discharged. He said, I feel good. I feel normal now. Now that I haven't been taking any of my medication, I feel great. I feel normal. I don't feel agitated. I don't feel depressed. I've been taking those meds for years. I just took your advice and I just stopped taking them. And kaboom! Like a new man. He literally felt, he looked normal. He acted normal. He was good. And he got discharged. And he didn't seem suicidal. He was happy. He was laughing really, really hard without medication. He wasn't bipolar. And he was laughing really hard. And he was making jokes. And the way he was acting, you could tell he wasn't faking it. He was genuine about it. My opinion is that most of these antidepressant medications not only cause mania, but they can also cause impulses that are really bad, such as suicidal ideation. And the reason I say this is because I have been in the psychiatric unit so many times in the past that I've seen so many people hurt, crying, empty-minded, um, filled up on psychotic medication to the max that they're not even able to focus. They're gone. Like mentally, they're just like gone. So a couple years, no, I'd say about 4 or 5 years ago, back in Texas, there was another patient, and he was out acting really, really violent, really fucking violent. But he would still talk to me. He's like the only person that he would talk to. I don't know why, but he trusted me. Plus, we were roommates. But I said, "Why do you get so angry?" He said, "None of your fucking business." So a day went by. Dude? Why are you so angry? Why are you screaming? What's going on in your life that's causing you such anger? And he finally talked to me. He said, "Dude, the reason why I get so fucking angry is because I feel so fucking agitated all the time." This word agitated comes up a lot in psychiatric units. Agitated, agitated. Well, I said, "What medicines are you taking?" "Well, I'm taking Seroquel and Depakote." I said, "Have you tried taking no medication?" "Oh, I never tried that. I've been on the meds since I was a kid." So he stopped taking the Seroquel and he stopped taking the Depakote. He didn't have seizures, by the way, and he wasn't bipolar. He wasn't diagnosed that way. He was diagnosed as depressed. He stopped taking these two medications, and a week or two later, he started to feel better. I don't know. I don't know. He started to feel better. Like he didn't have more outbursts. The outbursts became less, and then he had none. And the doctor freaked out. The doctor started to freak out and actually say, "Dude, what's going on? You're not acting out anymore. You're looking good. You're okay. You're doing good." And that's what he told me that the doctor said. The doctor said, "I've never seen you this normal before. Did you change something?" "I stopped taking your medication." Doctor said, "That's true. I guess the medication was causing you side effects and causing them to have anger outbursts." As for me, my anxiety and this is so internal. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a physical. I don't know if it's that genetic thing or if it's something else or what it is. But my anxiety is so extreme, man. Sometimes I get so fucking anxious. Like my body, it feels like it's on fire. Not literally, not like burning, but just like all my poor gene, all my millions of cells going through my body are like, "Fuck you." I'm serious. But in general terms, I think antidepressants are bad. I can see where some antidepressants may work for the most severely depressed, but if you're mildly depressed, you shouldn't take antidepressant medication. It's not good. If you're bipolar, you definitely should not take medications, even if you mix it up with anti-seizure medication to even out the balance of the mood. It doesn't matter. You should never take medication for depression unless it's severe. ECT should not be done. This is my opinion based on what I have seen. And there's some psychiatrists that actually agree with me. And as weird as it is, they actually do not prescribe antidepressant medication. They'll prescribe anti-seizures, but they won't prescribe antidepressant medication because they see there's too many side effects. Some of their clients were suicidal, and that they hurt themselves a lot when they were on those medications, and when they got off the medications, it stopped. So I really don't know what is in the antidepressant medication that causes someone to want to hurt themselves. When you really get down to it, when you get down to the science, I know it affects your neurotransmitters, and I know it affects your serotonin levels. I guess if your serotonin levels are suddenly changed abruptly, whether it be higher or lower, I suppose you just become suicidal. It's so weird, though, that our bodies act that way. But since I stopped taking these antidepressant medications, everything has been smooth when it comes to that department. Because I was bad for many, many, many years. And now I am completely good when it comes to feeling that way. I don't feel depressed, I just feel anxious all the time. Now, there's one medication I took that possibly caused a permanent side effect. Back in 2010, I started to feel really fatigued a lot after taking a medication. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but after taking that medication, I got a permanent side effect off of it. The doctors have agreed that there's a permanent side effect of the medication, which will probably go away. Maybe it's semi-permanent, but if I'm lucky, it goes away within the next 5 to 10 years, which is really fucking annoying. Um, some of these medications are terrible medications, such as Seroquel. Everybody always likes to try to praise Seroquel because it's an anti-bipolar medication, but it's not a good medication. Now, Abilify is a dangerous medication. I haven't had a reaction to this Abilify, but other people that took Abilify, they couldn't stay awake for 3 or 4 days straight. Their heart was racing really fast, and they felt like shit. They absolutely felt like shit. They felt like they were going to die, they said. But it wasn't anxiety. It was like their heart was racing and skipping beats all the time. And Abilify is the one that does it. Abilify is a dangerous medication. It causes... Some people had strokes on this medicine. So I would never take it again. The one that I took that gave me extreme agitation was Prozac. No, it was Prozac. Prozac gave me like this extreme agitation, like in the legs. There was like extreme freak. It was extreme too. I like this. I was like, fuck. Couldn't relax. It gave me bad restless leg, I guess. But in general, um, that's what happened. And this is my opinion on these medications. I am not a doctor, but based on experience myself, antidepressants cause a lot of people to go crazy, worse than they normally are. I mean, it's insane how the antidepressant medication can actually make you worse. And when it makes you worse, it really makes you worse. It makes you want to hurt yourself badly. And the thing is, how do doctors that prescribe these medications, don't they think about the side effects? When you actually think about it, when you get down to the nit and gritty of these medications, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. When you actually get down to the nit and gritty of these medications, there's so many suicide reports when somebody's after taking this medication. There are so many suicide reports. I was looking at some articles in the San Francisco Times, and in the local police archives that I'm allowed to access that are public. There's a lot of suicides, but they were taking medication for antidepressants, and they had no priors. That means they weren't in psychiatric units before taking antidepressants. I looked in some of the Los Angeles archives. I looked in some of the San Antonio archives that were public. There's a lot of stuff that's HIPAA regulated, but they give you like this person had this, but they don't give names. So I added all that up, and I just realized that these antidepressant medications are no good for anybody unless you have the most severe, debilitating depression ever. If you have mild depression, no, you shouldn't be taking these medications because it's gonna It's going to ruin your brain. And fuck Abilify, because fuck you. I'm serious. The Abilify Corporation, fuck you. I've seen a lot of people have strokes because of that in the hospital. When I was in the psychiatric and people taking Abilify, all of a sudden they're stroking out. Just saying. Other than that, it's my opinion on antidepressant medications, and that's a fact. It's a fact. A lot of these antidepressant medications are really bad. If you're taking antidepressants and you're feeling more suicidal than normal, and you have to call the suicide hotline all the time, you have an issue and you need to get off those medications. But if you've been taking it for a long time, get off of them slowly, even if you still feel suicidal, because the side effects could be really dangerous of withdrawing. It's like benzos in a way. And then certain medications, certain antidepressants, oh, but they cause serotonin syndrome. So you gotta watch out for those antidepressant medications. They would give you too much serotonin, and you could die from that. That's my honest opinion on antidepressant medications. If you see any advertisements on this video for antidepressant medications, I'm not condoning it. Just saying. Because that's really weird how YouTube and antidepressants in the word search terms, you'll see antidepressant medication pop up. So I don't want you guys to look at those advertisements. Skip them, mute them, but don't look at those ads. I can never condone the use of antidepressants after seeing what I have been through those psychiatric units. I won't condone it. But anyways, it makes them money and it makes you dead. It's a win-win for the government, and it's a win-win for the providers that give you those medications, specifically the antidepressants, when they force them on you, especially if it's court boomed on you. But anyways, that's it. Alright, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Planet Earth here.